All right, so I know we've seen a lot of Dubai. We've seen the glitzy side, the exciting side. And I think it's easy to understand why it's one of the best places to visit. But I'll tell you a secret. The reason why I wanted you guys to come here, or at least I believe it was laid on my heart by God to, initiate all of this, it's the people. My journey has been made richer by interacting, observing, and just fellowshipping with some of the most amazing, humble individuals I've ever encountered in my life. And some of them have stories that are so inspiring because they had a vision, they had a dream, and they dared to try it out in a space like Dubai, where everything is mega sized, including competition. I spoke to Melon because she is the creator and founder of Melrish Studios. But she stands out in this industry as a photographer, wedding photographer, and a filmmaker. Not because, she's very talented, but she has an exceptionally good way of telling her story authentically. She has a good way of bringing people together and starting discussions on LinkedIn, sparking conversations about things that we are always thinking about, but just don't feel comfortable enough to talk about. Melon not only does Melrish Studios, but this year she went on to found a jewelry company, and she's selling pearls. And she's also linked that to a personal story. I believe it's Olivia Jewels, named after her mother. So that just shows you that the caliber of speaker you're going to encounter today and hear from and learn from, she has mastered the art of trumping all the noise, the marketing noise, and authentically communicating a message and excel at it. She is award-winning. She's not just doing this for, hey. She's award-winning.
I'm Melon. Today I'll be talking about networking. Um, so last year, actually, I have done more than 12 months ago. I have done an omni-channel approach to marketing to improve the business. But today I'll be focusing on networking. I have a lot of strategies like email marketing, helping yourself, being visible on LinkedIn. But today I'll be focusing on networking. So this is a little bit about me. So we started the Melrish Studio in 2009, and so we celebrated 15 years. I took the whole team in Azerbaijan, Baku, to celebrate. I have been named one of the most influential Filipinos in the Gulf. I've been here 20 years ago. Oh, there's a missing photo there somewhere. So I've been named filmmaker by Filipino Times, best director by Emirates Film Festival, and members of different photography associations and different networking groups. But I want to take you first to where it all started. So back in 2009, I came here in 2005 as a visual merchandiser. My salary they offered me was 2,200, and then my manager back in the dirhams. Wow. So I was like, my manager by that time, I had some boyfriend that time. He said like, no, you can earn that in the Philippines. But my manager, who was like working with me directly, he said like, you know what? When I was in your age, I got an offer to work abroad as well. And those subordinates who went and decided to jump the boat, they're now business owners. They are now managers of their companies. They're now Canadian citizens, German citizens. So he said, like, grab the opportunity while you're still young. Well, I'm not actually young. I was like 26 that time. So I grabbed the opportunity to grow up 25, 26, go abroad, even though it's 2,200 salary. Work as a visual merchandiser. You'll see that company downstairs. It's Marina Home Interiors. That was my first job. And then my first year, I said, like, let me get a driver's license. So then I can have a side hustle because 2,200, it's not even, it's nothing. So I tried my best to get a driver's license so I can do carpooling. So then I did that, and the bank helped me get a small car. And then because I had driver's license, I got offered a job double the salary the next year. So I worked my way in the corporate ladder. Now, I met my husband here in 2008 in in the children's party. It's not the entertainer at that party. We got married in 2009 because when God lets you meet someone, you know. So we got married after 3 months of meeting, and then, yes, I met him in January. We got married in April. So in 2009, that was 2008, and then in 2009, so the first we noticed was our wedding photos were not storytelling; they were too staged. And I want authentic photos. I don't want pose shots where you're looking at the sky and holding your bouquet. So I don't want those photos. I want And my colleagues from office heard about our business. They said, can I give you 60,000 more? But can I have a little part? Because of course they want to retire. Also, they want to be part of the business. So we had a pool of money to open that business. So my business partner said, okay, for the meantime, we're waiting for the construction of the mall to get finished. I'll keep the money first, and I'll release it after 6 months when we can import the products and start furnishing the store or the fixture. So we gave really post-dated checks. She issued post-dated checks. She signed and all. After 3 months, my mom needed an operation. She had to remove her ovaries. So my mom called, it's emergency, I need 30,000 at least. So I said, like, don't worry, I'll call my landlady. I call her and ask for 30,000 so I can have your operation done. I gave her a call that morning. She was not picking up the phone. I SMS her. She answered back actually on the SMS. She said, like, okay, I'll call you back, but then never called back. And then after 3 days, I said, I need the money because my mom needs operation and all that. She was not picking up. And then I called her office because I know where she works. She works in a big construction company. Her husband works in Emirates. So I'm like feeling secure. I just give them a call. And I know where they live. I used to live with them. So I gave her a call. And the company where she was working said that she went AWOL. She has left the company without notice for a week already. And I'm like, whoa, okay. So then I went to her house because I know where she lived. It was all locked up. And I'm like, no way, no. Wait, no way. Like it was like, I don't know if I'm gonna be angry, if I'm gonna cry. Well, I cried, of course. And I cannot even sleep. I said like, where will I get 660,000? Because my colleague gave me 60,000.
So she had gone with the money?
She's gone with the money. I deposited the post-dated checks. They all bounced back. So I'm like, and they said, you can go file a police report. We did. But because they cannot go internationally unless I pay a lawyer, but then I said, like, where will I get a minimum 25,000 additional? And then, so that was like, I'm angry, frustrated, sad, depressed, anxious. I don't know what all the emotions I'm getting. And then my mom was like, okay, so she felt sorry for me. She said, don't mind me. I'm going to find somewhere where I can borrow money. So, but then I was like, I'm so sorry. I cannot even help because we're earning together, me and my husband. It was like 11,000 something. The loan itself, we have to pay 13,000 monthly. So that means so I need 2,000 extra. Plus I need rent. Plus I need electricity. I need food. And then later I found out that I'm pregnant. And then we don't have, that time, insurance for maternity was not included in the packages. So and then I tried to look for other jobs, but it was like the 2008 financial crisis. I was already grateful that I was not even kicked out of the job. So I was like working really hard, trying to work up the corporate ladder. But you know what? That's where I saw God's faithfulness in my life. Whenever we needed, like the rental check will come, we need 10,000, a project will come, that is exactly the same amount. So we saw really God's provision and God's love and God's faithfulness. So, I mean, we wanted to open up a restaurant, but then God us to open a photography business. So every week we're having a small birthday shoot, a portrait shoot. I mean, it was we have to work hard. 9 to 5 we're working, weekends we're working, until 3 a.m. we're working, editing photos and videos. But, we made it through. We paid the whole amount after 5 years through God's faithfulness. And then, so after 5 years of paying up, I decided to quit my job. Even though I was able to climb the corporate ladder. And imagine that, like the blessings were amazing. Like even though we were, after 2 years of working, the same company, I was promoted. And even though we were in debt, I was able to visit a different country every year.
Wow.
Yeah, so after child was born, we visit Malaysia, then the next year, and then next year we visit Paris, we met to Italy. So, like, to experience life and to, like, also. So, that is my story in 2009. And after 2014, we opened up the business. We got a small studio in Business Bay. I was, again, I think I have like this streak of people trying to cheat on me. So we opened a business, looked for a PRO, found one in Google, Gulf News. Not Google, there was not a lot of Google. There's Google, but I have Gulf News, is like, let's call them. I spent 80,000 on a supposedly 36,000 trade license. So, but I said, like, at least now we have a, trade license after that, but still, So, from 2014, our team grew and all that. And then 2020 again, what happened in 2020? Almost our team got shut down. It was like we were already going up, and then we dove again, like to a negative. But I think God prepared me for that already with what happened, a bigger loss. So I was like, we were ready. We know that God will take us through there. So, and then now we're now on the growth, on the way to business growth. That's what the goal is. I believe the book, the magic of thinking big. It's not a Christian book, but I said, like, I looked at the message and said, like, instead of looking at myself big, last year she said, like, a thing said to me, like, do not look at yourself small. Don't think that you're too small. Don't think that you cannot do anything. You can do a lot of things. So I dove into a lot of marketing strategies, from LinkedIn, being visible on video, networking. So I was a very shy person when I came to Dubai after, but then I said, like, now that I'm a business owner, and if I really want to grow in this field and industry, I have to be out there. I have to put myself out there. I should not, I have to remove my limiting beliefs. I should not believe, like, because I'm Asian and and I'm not that good of a speaker, that doesn't mean that I won't be good. I can train myself to be good. I can be as good as everyone else. If I see them on TV, I can be, my ultimate dreams to be on TED Talk, talking about my stories and, sharing my struggles and, encouraging everyone to grow and inspiring people. So the first thing I said, like, in 2018, I said, let me go out. It's difficult to look at people, talk to people, speak to people. But you know what? It's not what you know, it's who you know. That's what I learned first. So you know that 85% of business deals are made through networking, and 70% of professionals got their opportunity through connections, which is true. And your network can open doors and skills that and experience alone can. Most of our businesses, so we were shooting weddings and starting 2009. So we grew that because we were able to build connections with the couples that we shot their stories. So we knew one connection from a wedding that we shot, and she said, like, I love the way you capture the photos and you're very, very professional. So because we engaged with the people, not only just the couple, we engaged with the guests, people knew about us. So it's really the power of connecting with people and knowing people. It creates a lot of, opens a lot of doors and builds a lot of opportunities. So now I realized that more. Just the other day, last month, we have this big project. One of my dream clients, they have a lot of events that we want to cover. I've been chasing after that client for years, but because we were having this relationship with this, friend, we've been shooting for them for free, and now she got employed in there, and she said, like, because I really love your work and because I remember you, I'm going to push for you and have you registered in the company. So we are like, wait, it's one of my dream clients, and I finally got my chance, and we're going to shoot a big event for them. A strong network means more clients, more visibility, and more collaboration opportunities. This really, I learned a lot. So it's really like when you have a strong network, when you know different people. I was thinking maybe I should just connect with people I'm comfortable with. It's so hard to, like, especially when you're going to a networking event, it's so hard to, like, talk to people, to strangers. But when you build connections with the people around you, you get to know them, really invest in them, it's gonna pay off. But whenever you go to networking events, also, you don't just go there and sell to them. I've been to a lot of networking events when I meet someone, Hi, by the way, I have this real estate. Would you like to invest? You, this is my business card. I'll give you a call. I have the real estate. And it's like a repeated, like, I've been to those networking events. But when you go into networking events, it's relationships over transactions. Focus on building meaningful relationships, not just collecting business cards. I've been to also networking events. There's like another inter-council networking event. It's a networking event for business council of different countries here in Dubai, and I've been to that. I've met one lady who was like giving away and getting only business cards. And then after that, I'll receive a spam email like, so this is us, we want to sell, we have the opportunity, la la la. So I mean, like, come on, you should have first built some relationship before you start selling. And the power of authenticity in networking. So this has been one of my, do you know that authenticity is the word of the year of 2023? Because of the social media and because of a lot of ways to connect digitally, a lot of people crave for authenticity. Nowadays, Sarah Blakely, founder of Spanx, even though her company made her a multi-million business, Sarah Blakely has more followers than Spanx. We know Elon Musk more. Do you know Elon Musk has more followers than Tesla? Even Richard Branson has more followers than Virgin, because people like to follow people. They like to see what's behind the scenes. They like to connect you better than the logo. So that's why it's very important also to be authentic when it comes to networking, when it comes to talking to people. And yes, my word for the year. Find your buddy, networking buddy. Come, let's go together in a networking event. But not because you can talk to each other, but you can introduce each other, like then you can split up. I like to go to a networking event with someone at least I know, so then at least when it gets awkward, someone will push you, encourage you, like inspire you, like, come on, let's go talk to that person. Okay, who wants to talk to him first? Okay, you are okay. I know that person, or even in networking events, I always have my phone data and I'll Google first who that person is because, hi, I'm this, and who, and but he's the CEO of the already. So I'm like, okay, so make sure if you go in networking events, find give yourself a goal of 5 great people that you want to network with. Give yourself I like to gamify things. Then again, networking isn't about numbers, quality versus quantity. So when I go to networking events, I only tell myself, connect with 5 people, because otherwise, as an introvert, I'm an introverted person, so I'm very shy. And I have a networking battery of 1 hour. So after 1 hour, I'll be like, okay, I'll be in the corner. I have to recharge, or I need to go home. That's it, So I said, so I always, giving myself 5, just 5 people you connect with. That's it, and then you're done for the day. I know people will still come to you, but just accept, yes, and a smile. But then for me to approach 5 people takes a lot of energy and confidence, and it runs out. Next time. So, but again, it's quality. You don't go around people like meeting 20 people, getting their business cards, but then they don't even remember you, or you don't even remember them. Who's, especially business cards with no face, who's this person? Like, I can't remember. Anyways, I just send them an email. But of course, that email goes to spam, goes to trash, because they did not even remember you too. So, yeah. So, now that you know why networking is very important, you should have an action plan, like, what's my action plan whenever I go network? So, the first thing, I pray. I said, Lord, lead me to the right people. Give me enough energy to network. Next is join women's business groups or industry communities. So here in Dubai, there's a lot of business groups and women's groups. There's female fusion, there's like your business council, there's like inter-council. You can go attend South African Business Council, you can go Netherlands Business Council, they have weekly meetings. There's British Business Council, so Philippine Business Council also. So, or like what's your industry? Look for that networking event. So yesterday I attended a 2-day networking event for event industry. So I said, okay, the important people in the networking in events industry are in this event. I have to find them, connect with them. And then you know why also it's important for you to at least connect with 5 people. The next event, industry event that you're going to attend, when you see those 5 people, because they'll be there, you're more comfortable. You'll be like, hey, it's you again. And then you give, oh, yay, then the room feels less cold. The room feels less strange, and then people start to recognize you. So I'm like surprised when people recognize. I cannot recognize them, but they said like, hey, Melon, you, yes, I remember, though in my mind, I don't. So like, and I'm glad, I'm glad with networking events if they have tags, because then you're like, but if you don't have tags, I'm so bad at names. This is my line. I'm so bad at names, but can you remind me your name, So that's how I remind myself of their who they are and where we met. And it's also to be honest. Okay, so I met so many people back that time, but can you remind me where I'm so sorry, like I have amnesia. So next, set a goal to connect with 3 new people this week. So this I'd like to gamify things. So my husband tells me I used to be a gamer. That's why I'm an introvert. I used to play Counter-Strike. I used to go sit in coffee shops to play video games and networking games. So but I stopped because they're addicting. I used to skip work just to play games the whole day. Yeah, I know that's so bad. But
You get caught up in Pokemon?
not the I was already on the rehabilitation stage. I was on the rehab stage at that time already. So I used to play Counter-Strike, StarCraft. I like the shooting games. I don't know. I like war games. So I like to gamify. I have a score sheet. I can share it with Vimba, and you can share it with you. I have this score sheet. I give myself 5 points if I go to a networking event and meet 5 people. Now I have raised the bar to 5 people. I used to have 3 people, but 3 new meaningful connections this week that I will remember their names. After I meet them, I will connect with them on LinkedIn. I will send them an email. I will send them a WhatsApp just so they will remember me. So that's 3 new connections. So it's like step by step. So first I meet them, make sure I know their names. I find them where they are, look for them I find them on LinkedIn. I look for their social media footprint. Where are they? Are they on Instagram? And then if I see something that's very interesting about their Instagram profile, they posted something recently, and I'll be like, hey, I do comment and say hey, this is so great. I did not know that you also to go to this country, or I have been to that country. So make sure you make that connection meaningful. And because if you give yourself 10, it just takes a lot of time. But imagine 3 in a week, that's 12 in a month. And that's 12 times 12, 144 in a year. And these people, when you build meaningful connections, they don't just they don't just stay with them. They will refer you. They will let you meet other people. They will talk about you. So set a goal, at least 3 people this week. You can give more, you can exert more if you can. And reconnect with 2 existing contacts. So then that's 2 existing contacts because, hey, I met this person. So you have to have a networking notebook or have it in your diary. Hi, maybe reconnect with your old schoolmates, with your old colleagues, because these are people who will, the important thing is relationships, meaningful connections. Don't just treat them as transactions. Oh, this person did not give me business yet. was trying to sell him an apartment, but he did not buy. So no, they can be the referrals for you. Stand out using visuals. So this one thing that I did the past 12 months, so I experimented because my goal, when I turned 44 last year, so I'm 45 now this year. When I turned 44 last year, I said, I want to reach a 7-figure business. I want to be a $1 million business. Because it's been 15 years. Plus, it's not about the money. It's not about so I said reach for the stars. Aim for the moon and you'll reach for the stars. I said I'll put my goal up there. I'll try to reach it. Because I remember this when I came to Dubai, my 2,200 salary. I said I want to have my own car. Never had a car, even in the Philippines, although I really want to drive. So there was this person in the mall, there's giving away a brochure, and I had that orange car pictured. And then I was living in a room with 6 other women. There's a bed space. And I was under the bunk bed, and I put that car under the bunk bed, top bunk. And I was looking at it every night.
Wow.
And that's the car that I bought after a year. And I'm
Wow.
yes, I know. I said if you visualize something, that's the power of visualization. And you won't believe this also. But if you put your heart into it, you pray about it, and you tell God that this is what your heart desires, it will come true. When we were sitting in 2009 with my husband, I drew I drew photos of because I like to draw, sketch. So I sketched the Eiffel Tower, I sketched the Leaning Tower of Pisa, Rome, and I said I want an SUV because I had a small car. I want an SUV, 2 kids, 2 boys, 2 girls, but now I don't want that. Exactly, a boy and a girl is no, 2 kids. But those, and then the rest I just wrote. But those that I drew came true. And exactly 2009, I drew a hammock between 2 palm trees, and I said I'm going to Maldives. In 2017, that exact picture.
Wow.
My kids were sitting in the hammock, and then it's part of the package when you go to Maldives, they give you a package of someone will take your photo, and then you can bring home a framed photo. So when I brought it home, and then I saw that old notebook way back in 2009, I said what I know it's one of the most watched TED Talk, but they said the power of visualization. If you draw it, if you see it in your mind, and if you keep looking at it, it's your direction. You set your plans, but God establishes your steps. But if you don't have a plan, what steps will be established?
Yes.
So that's what I did. I said I'm going to stand out in visuals. So going back to my topic of LinkedIn, I said I'm going to focus on LinkedIn, focus on 2 social media platforms. I tried to focus on a lot last year, but I said this year I'm going to focus on YouTube and LinkedIn. Why? Because they're searchable. They're the only platforms that when you type about something the other day I was typing corporate headshots, are tips about corporate headshots. An article on LinkedIn was the top Google search. And then if you also because Google owns YouTube, a lot of how-to videos or tips, when you try to search about tips or how-tos or what's the life in Dubai, a Google video appears. So I said it will help me elevate my business, my personal brand, if I focus on these 2 platforms. You don't find, if you talk about, let's say you talk about social media, if you're a social media expert and you talk about social media tips, on Instagram, you don't appear on when you search on Google. So that's why I try to focus on LinkedIn and YouTube this year. Leverage social media. That's, yeah, same thing. So try to focus on 2 platforms. Otherwise, you'll burn out trying to stand out on social media. Why are these 2 platforms important to me? And why do you need to leverage social media? Because when you network, you meet people, you look for them. The next step is you find them on social media. It's gonna be hard. I did have business cards, met people, but they're not on socials. It's so hard for me to connect with them. So I just send them an email, but they don't reply. So it's a hit or miss also. So if you try to network with 5 people, not everyone will reply to you. But then when they meet you, it's gonna be embarrassing because I emailed you, but then you did not reply. I'm so sorry, yeah. So have a follow-up system. Email them, follow them on socials, then comment on them, connect on their first before you ask. So these are some of the books that I read and that really helped me a lot when it comes to networking. The one thing that is not here is, because I only had the PDF copy, is Daniel Priestley, Key Person of Influence. That's a really good book. That's the one that I'm currently reading. It's really helping you to not be an influencer, because influencers nowadays have very bad connotation, but be a key person of influence. When people talk about something, I want to be someone, they talk about authenticity, video marketing, I want them to remember me. So that's what I keep talking about. So I want to be a key person of influence in that field, in that industry. These are the networking events that I am part of. So 2018, I first joined BNI. I said okay, and I entered a room full of, but I like the structure of BNI because they have a way of inviting you. Then they'll give you every week a 30-second pitch, So then I practice, it's a good way for me to practice how I will, first it's but it helps. They're forced to give you referrals. So every week you have to you have to meet people one-to-one, the members first, and then because it's an international platform, you meet a lot, not only people in UAE, people around the world. So I attended a Philippine convention 2 months ago as part of as a member of BNI, and there's an international convention in Hawaii. Free workshops, and this is the cheapest of all memberships. There's is only 500 in a year, and of course this is free. My church is where I get my support system, the people that I pray with, fellowship, and real connections. The events group is my industry group. So those are the only choose. Don't spray and pray. Choose your core groups and build strong connections there. Don't attend so many networking events and then you'll appear only once a month. They won't remember you. Then appear once a month, and then so make sure you have your core networking groups where you build connections, because this is enough. The people I meet here is enough for me to reach a broader audience. Your network is not just a source of business connections. It's a community of support inspiration, and collaboration that can elevate your business and life. So your network is really a powerful way for you to build connections, make life meaningful, and of course, grow your business as a result. So by the way, if you have, we have an ebook coming up in October. We also think, because we are focused on mastermind groups, these are ways for us to help our people who wants to get to know us more. And I would like to request you to follow me. Yes, so this is me. I am Melon Perez on LinkedIn. My YouTube channel is Journey with Melon, and these are my websites, and these are our Instagram handles. I like to thank you so much for listening to my story, and I hope I was able to share a lot of things that's useful.
Round of applause, ladies.
So this is just an award to appreciate
Oh, thank you.